I think it's always right, but it's not always comfortable or easy. So, okay, thank you. I'd like to offer that.
I've got two little suggestions to Barrett. I don't know how you make your decisions currently, but I would like to point out the work of Jose Silva, the Alpha training. It brings you to one of the states, Alpha brainwaves. Maybe you're already using that, but that's brilliant. You simply a good night's sleep does the trick. But you can train this Alpha state. Jose Silva wrote a book about that in the 70s. The second thing is which I use to test my decisions. If a decision before I make it still feels too complex, it's not right. The beauty is in the simplicity. Out of experience, all the right decisions were almost simple, beautiful. So if it's too complex, don't make a decision again.
There's a philosophical principle for that, like Occam's razor.
Oh, okay. Not aware of that.
So there's timing as well. Sometimes you want it at that point, but some other things that you can see from here are not ready.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm intuitively getting that I should start writing some notes down. So
Okay, excellent. From your bucket?
I was trying, he's coming back, right? I was trying my best to keep my mouth shut until you said what you just said, about alpha waves, because it connects with I'm stalling for Barrett. I was saying I was trying to keep my mouth shut, but then when I said connects with, as an upper right correlate to an upper left suggestion that I got to the same question, but basically phrased like the exact same way, with the complexities that's going on, that have been going on with me leading my life, blah, 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 blah. I felt my meaning-making system breaking down. Like, oh shit, I thought this was a good one. They sold me this car and they said warranty. And this is scary. Really scary. Because I have like big rational mind. Rely on that meaning-making system, you know? So I went to Sophia, and I think I mentioned Sophia to you guys, Sophia Diaz. Like, I can't even put words to it. She's like a non-dual state. You talk about it, it's not it. Amazing yoga master. She does do seminars around the area. Look her up, I can send you information. Amazing yoga master, one of the only transmitted in the States Indian temple dance teachers outside of the context. And you know Sophia, so that's a personal thing. She said to me, knowing me, she said like accustomed to Clint advice for what it's worth to you and to anyone else. She's like, you don't know how to exercise and activate your subtle body. And I was like, I'm not going to deny it. My subtle body? Yeah. And she was speaking. What's that? She was speaking particularly, though, of the upper right part of it, which is why I'm now speaking up, because you brought up the alpha waves, which is a higher gross, low subtle brainwave correlate. And the subtle that we've been talking about the last couple of days is, I've been talking about the upper left. That's supported by an actual energetic frame, which is more what Arini is actually changing through the practice she's doing. That energetic channel structure is changing. That was Sophia's answer to me. And I can tell you more about the practices that she recommended, but let me just tell you about the resolve, which was going to be my attempt at an answer to the first question, what's intuition? The resolve for me has been really wild. Totally radically redid my understanding, now hearing this presentation of intuition. She taught me how to make my skin translucent. And it's not 100% by choice, like I'm not that good at it, but it's like the skin goes more translucent, you know, we're the transparent, permeable. And in that state, and I think for me it is a state because it's like very temporary, enters about my life, and I take it as like fuel for more just perspective taking that's helped me to get through the shit that I've been going through, which you know a little bit about. So again, same question, and I had the simple answer: just learn how to turn on your subtle body. She gave me practices, and then the brainwave technologies is another way to do this.
It's like what Marjan and I did it as well. It's like energy breathing, learning how to read energy. It's not like becoming a psychic in a way that all of a sudden I see auras everywhere, but it is learning to feel and see and trust this subtle field. And you can tell people things about themselves that they're like, you just met me. Just by accessing that and offering them your view, not saying you're like this, but saying, hey, this is what comes up for me when I tune into your current state in your life or your essence or whatever. And it's just beautiful and it works. You just have to start trusting it and practicing it, because there's also a lot of things that can get in the way, of course, as we know.
I was thinking, what is intuition? And in the way we speak about it, like it's an angel whispering something to you, like it's an insight that's given to you in a way. But I guess I feel, yeah, to me the story is like you already know everything, right? You just have to be quiet. And I was thinking about experiences I have had. I don't think I have had so many. And at the same time, I think I haven't, grown so much in my potential because I take it really slow. And I think that helps following intuition, which wasn't like angels whispering to me, but it's an unfolding. That's the word we're using as well. And then the talents come into it easily, I'd say, because you're just doing what you want to do, and then it can happen.
Yeah, that's a funny thing with that. First you do what you have to do, then you outgrow that, you start doing what you want to do, either on a more gross level or on a more from inside longings level, and then you start doing what you have to do, but it's another type of what you have to do. It's more like a surrender to the big intervalness. It's what my mother said last week. It's not that, but I thought it was funny. So closing this conversation off, we've explored intuition and how it shows up in you. We've identified having the courage to experiment with it and listen to it so that you can see and learn that it actually works and how it talks to you, how it shows up in you. And then, of course, you can read books or go to trainings to develop it more, or have some sessions with great people who are great in this. But be careful, it's not just postponing starting to listen to what is already there, because that can start right now. Yeah.
Just out of experience, I think sometimes for me it's not the hardest thing to hear the intuition, but to not listen to all the reactions that come upon it.
Yeah.
So, and that's very often a lot of information and ideas and things why you shouldn't do it. And it's sometimes even more difficult just to...
We take our thoughts very seriously, we tend to, and we shouldn't. And that's expanding. I think one part is expanding your consciousness so that you can say, oh, look at this is popping up, this is popping up, so that you don't identify with it or believe it without checking. Another part is developing your heart and connection to yourself and self-acceptance, self-love, and then connection to other people. Because then you don't even get into that confusion so much. You still hear the things coming out, but much less of an issue. Final one.
And also as well, it doesn't always have to be on life-changing